and welcome to this specially scheduled programming. I am Hummingbird Saltalamacchia, and this is Lavender Goons. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior, Goochberg?
Best cold opening ever. Hey guys, what's up, what's happening? The King of Games 98 here, back at it again with Kevin.
Or as the Gucci-nator, as the mighty Goochberg,
Yes.
loyal follower.
For the next episode in chronological order of Psych-o-ween 22, the Halloween themed psych episodes. We are reviewing all 8 episodes, and this is the next episode. This episode is from Season 2,
episode
16, so it's actually the final episode in Season 2, and the name of this episode is Shawn and Gus
of the Dead.
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 Yeah, let's not do that too loud. So, basically, do you wanna do the main?
Yeah, so like you said, Season 2, Episode 16 aired February 15th, 2008.
Wow.
And it was written and directed by Steve Franks, the one of the creators for the show.
That's awesome. And the runtime, I believe, was the same 43 minutes as the previous episode, Scary Sherry Bianca's Toast. And did you have a main synopsis that you wanted to?
Oh yeah, let me. It's the one thing I forgot. Okay. Give me a minute here. Okay, I think this is it right here. When a 3,000-year-old mummy disappears from a museum, Shawn comes to an unlikely conclusion that the artifact walked out on its own. Meanwhile, Henry is acting strangely after receiving a mysterious phone call. Shawn is as delighted to get a case of a theft from the bizarre museum as Gus is terrified because the loot in is his childhood nightmare, an Egyptian mummy. Meanwhile, the precinct is self-absorbed due to the expiration of the commissioner's ultimatum to resign unless nominated permanently, yet can't ignore the high-profile murder of Tycoon, a major sponsor of the museum, whose board includes his heir, William Wiles. Shawn claims the mummy walked out, links and solves both cases.
Yep. So, to kind of add on to that and clarify some things.
It was like not at the museum. But
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Shawn was right. But not the actual mummy. A being wrapped in linen did actually rise.
It was the return of Goochberg?
Yes. From the sarcophagus.
From the snuffleupagus.
Yes, that. And it was William Wiles.
Yes.
In the linen, disguised as a mummy.
Trying to steal Nefertiti's.
Yes. And how William Wiles fits into this, as he explained, he solved both cases at once. He did. William Wiles wanted to get into the museum to get to the Western guns section. I think it said guns of the 1800s.
Yeah.
And it was like Western revolver style guns. He needed to get to that display case and wanted to tamper with it to get in it, to get to this one gun that had an ivory handle.
Well, I think he wanted to kill him back because they were his guns.
Well, okay, yeah. So, yeah, he did want to get him back because they were his guns to begin with, but he specifically wanted the one with the ivory handle because it had a chip in it, and that was the gun he used to knock out his father,
Murder him.
who fell down a flight of stairs. And
I don't think I think it was to kill that. I think
did he die on impact?
I think it was the fall that killed him.
Okay.
Because I think they said he had blunt force trauma to the head before he fell.
Yeah. So
I think the fall did kill him.
Yeah. And yeah, that was. Oh, but wait. Okay. Kind of screwed up and said this out of order. I have to talk about how the episode started. So the episode started with a flashback to Henry and
Shawn's mom.
Shawn's mom
Watching creatures from the
Black Lagoon, which was so cool seeing that. It was in black and white in all of its glory. And Shawn being, I don't know,
10, 9, 10,
8,
9, 10,
8, 9, 10 years old, whatever, sneaks around the corner to watch it when he should have been in bed like 2 hours ago. That whole opening was so cool. And then Henry pulled him aside to the couch and said to him, you know, dead bodies don't walk. You know, once people get shot and killed, they're dead. They're dead. They don't rise from the grave. And like that whole opening was cool. I really liked how they did that, especially showing actual footage from Creature of the Black
Lagoon. Yeah.
And then from there we go into the actual story of the episode. It was funny though, because it starts off with, you know, in the museum and Lassie and Juliet being there. But then when it finally pans to Shawn is like up at like...
It's like 4:25.
4:25 in the morning.
And he's taking pictures of a cheating boyfriend.
He's taking random pictures of a cheating boyfriend. And like, it just seemed really out of place. And like, it had nothing to do with the story or the whole episode at all. Fast forward to all the way at the end of the episode, turns out it had a lot to do with the story of this episode.
And I never knew that until watching it now.
Yeah, and it turns out the pictures of the cheating boyfriend he was taking pictures of were of the guy who was
going to be the new chief.
Yep. And so he submitted those to the paper, and Shawn got him in trouble. And that was how Karen kept her job.
Yeah,
as chief of police.
I never put that together until now.
Yeah.
After all the times I've watched that episode,
yeah,
like I never put that together until now.
So I think we pretty much summed up the whole plot of this episode. I mean, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think we pretty much.
I mean, it was really good. It was kind of, it gave me Night at the Museum vibes.
So I will agree with Night at the Museum, but then I will also throw in there Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was going to say Scooby-Doo.
Because it was a mummy.
Yeah.
Because it was a mummy.
Yeah, and then they found the real mummy.
They did find the real mummy.
Yeah, they caught the guy.
It was dead. The mummy was dead, obviously.
Yeah, 3,000 years, I mean.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of scared if you were alive for 3,000 years, I mean.
Yeah.
And Goochberg came back. No, I'm just kidding. Goochberg.
I'm not gonna lie.
Big Mama Gooch.
It would have been funny to see her back just in one episode.
Oh my god, that would be great.
That would have been really funny.
Big Mama Gooch, man.
So let's see, like with the previous review episode, favorite moment of this episode?
I have to say when they actually found the mummy. And then Gus turns around and Shawn's already halfway down the street.
He's gone. He's just straight up booking it.
I have to say it's between that and then the ending when his mom comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
okay. So my favorite scene of this episode, I would have to say, when they get locked into the museum at night, all the lights go out.
For the first time?
For the first time. Gus is not aware of this.
Yes.
And Juliet calls Shawn's phone to tell him they located the night security guard's vehicle.
And he's parked right next to him.
And he's parked right next to their car out in the parking lot. Shawn literally drops his phone. And mind you, this is an old flip phone. So
the battery, the battery comes
hits
out.
The ground, the battery flops out, the cover comes off, just boom, 3 pieces. easily my favorite part.
I would have to say
favorite scene of this whole episode.
My second favorite part just happens a couple minutes before that, and Gus is going, "Why are they closing, shutting the lights off, with people still in it, with people still in the museum?" And then Sean's just like, "Well, that's because they closed 20 minutes ago," and Gus is like,
exactly,
"What?"
Exactly. So, originally, I was going to say my favorite scene of this episode was when Shawn gets to the museum for the first time and realizes that Gus's name isn't on the plaque and that they misspelled it. But then I was like, no, I like that scene better when he drops the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's my favorite scene.
Bruton Gaster.
Yeah, Bruton Gaster.
I like the second episode involving the museum, and then
Brutal Hustler.
And he goes, then he changes to Brutal Hustler, but I just kind of like that.
He's like, you can call me brutal. So that's my favorite scene of this episode. Favorite character from this episode?
Goochberg.
Oh
honestly, it was Kara, the chief.
You know what? For her being, her character getting the side story in this, at least I would call it the side story of this episode. It was a good side story. Yeah. Okay. My favorite character for this episode. I think I would have to say Shawn. For A, doing the snooping and taking those pictures for Chief Vic, and B, not knowing what a Red Robin is.
You know what? I have to agree with you on that. For the pictures, not knowing what the Red Robin was.
Yeah.
Him walking around the exhibit going, "Have this, have this." Mine's bigger.
He had like great one-liners, and then the whole part where he's having Gus follow him on the security cameras.
Oh yeah.
And like the wolf pellet standing behind the cactus, a freaking piece of tile, and he's walking around with it. That was hysterical.
Really, 2 of these?
Yeah.
Nefertiti's, Nefertiti's.
Yeah.
I've heard it both ways. And then he goes.
And then freaking he walks right by a guy. And
Pancake Butt, and
then
Steve Franks.
Pancake Butt, and then the guy turns around and it's the creator, Steve Franks. Yeah,
and then
that was hysterical.
They're talking about King Ramu, something, and he goes, "King, rub my bottom."
Yeah, rub my bottom.
And then he's coming out of the sarcophagus of solving both cases, and then Lassie jumps in. And he goes, "Really, Lassie? I was a piece of kids to consider it." He goes, I was rising out of the snuffleupagus and everything."
Yeah, so Shawn's definitely, he was my favorite character.
Yeah, he had the best one line. Yeah. But I feel like in almost every episode he has the best one line.
I mean, yeah, my God. James Roday as Shawn Spencer, he's got such great one-liners. Yeah, whether it's obscure 80s references, movie references, music references, names. Yeah, it's just great.
Yeah, no, I can't wait until we do Nightmare on State Street.
Oh, Kurt Smith.
Oh, Guster, this is embarrassing. You got me listening. You caught me listening to my own music.
That's gonna be my favorite scene of that episode.
Oh, definitely.
What else?
So we did
favorite scene,
favorite character. I think we covered everything. Goochberg for President 2024.
Oh my God. I guess the only thing left to say is, where would you, out of the 8 Halloween Psych-themed episodes, where would you rank this episode?
I would probably say it's bottom of the top 5, because it honestly, to me, felt like more of a Scooby-Doo episode than a Halloween episode.
And you see...
And I say that in the best possible way.
And you see, it's funny. That's what was going through my head the whole entire time we're rewatching this episode. And like I agree with him, and I mean it in a good way. It's not like it's bad that the whole freaking episode just reminded me of Scooby-Doo, even though in season 5 there is a blatant Scooby-Doo reference.
In Plain Fright, there's multiple Scooby-Doo references actually.
But like this episode really screamed Scooby-Doo.
But that episode was actually a Halloween, like, you know, it was actually
Yeah, In Plain Fright is really a Halloween episode. This one,
it was more of a Scooby-Doo.
yeah, I mean, I can see why they would, say it is, because there was a mummy involved.
Well, it's not just the
But,
mummy. It was more like, literally, like the ending was literally like the unmasking moment of Scooby-Doo without unmasking the monster.
It really was in a way. And then, the nice happy ending with Chief Vic
Yeah.
staying Chief Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I will agree with him.
You agree to agree.
Yes. And again, don't mean that in a bad way. I think that's a really good compliment, describing it as a Scooby-Doo episode. And yeah, I would agree with you. Not personally one of my favorite of the Psych-o-ween episodes.
I mean, let's put it like this.
It's probably lower on the
It's a great episode nonetheless.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But
it doesn't
Halloween wise. It really doesn't hit me as a Halloween episode.
It doesn't rank very high.
No.
At least for me.
As a Halloween episode, there's
not
like
for a Halloween episode. No.
It has to be number 5 at least for me.
I would agree with that. All right, guys. So I think that's going to do it for this review episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Stay Gucci.
Yep. Let us know down below in the comments section. Have you seen Psych Season 2, Episode 16, Shawn and Gus of the Dead? And if so, what did you think of it? And most importantly, would you consider this a really a Halloween episode?
And remember, let us know in the comments. Do you call Goochberg Gooch because you're good friends, or you had the privilege to see her naked like I have?